It's your main man 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? It is Wednesday, and on Wednesday, we talk love. So thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Love with Miss Love Doctor and my beautiful co-host,
Beauty on the Beat.
So I want y'all to come on in the room, okay? Because today is going to be good.
I'm excited.
This is where love meets beauty. And once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We definitely have to give a little bit of love to our sponsors, which is Keys Do Love Mommies. Mm-hmm. And they take care of the mommies. If there's a village that's needed, we provide it. Also, Keys Royalty, House of Love. And that is where you rebuild self-love. We'll just go ahead and say that. Also, always staying on beat with hair and makeup with Beauty on the Beat.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So be sure to comment, guys. Love, share. Call in if you want to be a part of the conversation. 702-551-5261. We love to hear from you. Loyalty. We were just talking about that. Honesty and respect is our number one policy. So make sure you keep it classy. Now, today, y'all, we are talking about love and situationships, okay?
Right.
But before we get started, we have a special guest of love in the house. So this beauty is a singer, a dancer, actress extraordinaire. I liked when it said that. She began her career at the early age of 16 years old right here in Vegas.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only lovely Miss ALLI Star.
Hey.
What's up, lady?
Welcome.
Gorgeous.
How are you?
Man, I'm sleepy.
You sleepy?
I've been up, exactly. I'm recording, so I've
Boss
been
lady.
up. Yeah.
Boss
How are
lady.
you ladies doing?
Wonderful.
Right? Blessed and highly
We got a little
favored.
superstar in the building and everything.
Exactly.
Where's
she at?
honored.
Right
Don't do
here.
that. Don't do that.
Right here.
Don't do that. I definitely like to tap in, see how you guys' week has been, make sure everybody's spirit is clear, make sure we don't need to take some cleansing breaths around here.
Ooh,
how you
good.
feeling, friend? What's going on? We haven't even seen each other
I
all
know.
week.
I've been sick. I'm just getting my, everything back. I still have like a deep rasp to my voice. But I mean, it is what it is. So
You
I'm
back.
just excited that I'm back. And next week is our week, y'all.
Next week.
Next week is our week.
Next week. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
We're
At
excited.
the same time.
Is it a secret?
No, it's our year anniversary.
Oh,
We've
happy
been on
pre-anniversary.
air.
So we'll be
you.
sending you a special invite because you're our guest of love. So we're
Well,
inviting
let's
back
do
all of our
it.
guests
Yes.
of love.
Okay.
So I was like, should I send it to her before? But she ain't been a guest yet. I'll wait. I'll send it to her on Thursday or maybe Wednesday night.
Yes.
All right. So I know that, everybody knows who you are, but tell the world, who's ALLI Star? Tell us about you.
So, ALLI Star is a goofball.
I love that.
Y'all gonna figure that out real soon. I'm really quiet, though. I guess I'm known as an international recording artist, and a lot of people may ask, well, why international? Because I'm signed to a UK label. So that means I put out my music first overseas, and that's how I'm international. So,
Oh, nice.
Cause period.
you know.
Because you got fans
Exactly.
internationally.
Like, girl, you heard her in Paris. Hey, I
We
heard
get over there
her
and be in the
the
middle.
line.
Is that ALLI? We know her.
Yep.
all in Paris.
Hey, that's dope.
I love that. Okay, definitely. So, y'all ready?
Listen, I'm gonna be listening because for me, I've been married 16 years almost. So I'm like, I just want to see what's going on.
What's going on in the situationship world?
Yeah.
So listen, how many of us have them?
That's for sure.
So we're going to get into the definition.
Oh.
And once we break down the definition, then we can talk about this thing, right?
Yeah, right.
So when I started to dissect it, I was like, first of all, what is a situation? If we have a situationship, what is a situation to begin with, right?
Mm-hmm.
A set of circumstances in which one finds oneself in a state of affairs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Gee golly, Williger.
Right to the point.
Jab, stab. Like, okay.
Like, gee, Williger, guys. Like, yeah.
We're not even going to play around with it. Y'all not going to fluff me today. Okay.
Ew.
So then a situationship is a romantic or sexual relationship that has not been considered to be formal or established. It's more than a friendship, less than a relationship, but more than casual encounter or a booty call.
Oh.
A situationship refers to a romantic relationship that is and remains undefined.
That's
Where y'all at with that, ladies?
I'm married, so I never subscribe to a situationship.
Where are you at with the definition?
And that's why I said that shit is real, right in your motherfucking face. And I'm like, well, why would you want to be defined but not yet defined? But yet, I'm over here like, did this it says every freaking thing that us as women totally understand but still be okay with.
Yep.
Is it just us as women, though?
No, definitely not.
We're the one that subscribes to, again, unless you don't want to be, like, if you don't want a formal relationship type, then, of course, you don't subscribe to that,
That's
right?
dating. That's just dating. There's a difference.
Yes. Oh, I don't know.
See, you said you're married. You already put your disclaimer out there.
So
I'm married.
I'm interested in hearing it from, from women who have been in it, who have, like, like earlier in life, before I got married, I felt like I didn't like that guys had access like that. Like they could have full coverage but not pay for full coverage. Like,
but they only have the access that you give them.
Yeah.
And I just chose not to let guys have access. Like, let's not be boyfriend, girlfriend. I ain't gonna worry about it. So that means, again, I don't get into situationships because I understand what it is. I'm not yours, you're not mine. So I'm gonna let it be what it be. And most men they don't think women can think like that. But
where you at with it, Miss ALLI?
I lived the situationship, so I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it go?
Yes.
So a situationship, I pretty much agree with everything the definition said, except it doesn't necessarily have to be a sexual relationship. You can have, cheating always starts with thoughts first before actions. You can have a whole relationship in your head and never do anything physical with a person. But if you have someone else that you're committed to, are you cheating or are you just having thoughts? Is that your situationship? So it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be physical. It can all be mental. It can be spiritual. Once you attach to somebody spiritually, that's a hard tie to break.
Yeah. You're right. You're right about that. I wonder,
the girl, I'm over here looking like,
because I'm thinking like, I could think about, and now I'm going to take it off the subject a little bit, but I could think about, Michael B. Jordan all the time. Mm-hmm. But is that something that I'm going to obtain? Is it something that I'm actually going to do, or am I creating a fantasy for myself? Which I think that kind of is a safer...
That's a fantasy, because for me, in a situationship, this is someone that you more than likely really know.
Okay.
So you don't know Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
You only know of him and what we see on the screen. But generally in a situationship, this is somebody you've encountered.
Close to you.
Close to you.
Yeah.
Someone, when you close your eyes, you can feel their energy without them being there.
This is going to get deep, guys. So, okay. So why do you think that people right now are so easily available to, i.e., settle for a situationship if that's not what they truly want? Now, we could talk about the people who are okay with it after, but like people who know, like, this isn't what I want. I really want commitment. I really want marriage. I really want a partnership. I want these things, but I'm going to take what I can get because it's so common.
Well, when you say the word settle, we only settle for what we know, what we learn.
Okay.
So if you don't know something different, then it will feel like settling to you. If all you're taught is monogamy and commitment and it has to be a man and a woman and it has to be marriage and this, and this, and A, B, and C, that's all you're going to know.
Yeah.
So it's going to feel like
That's
settlement
true.
to you.
Yeah.
Okay. That is definitely true. What you think? That's facts?
That is. I mean, it's just, if you want to go societal way and you don't want to break the taboos
But what if
of
it's not societal?
I'm just saying, like, it's, monogamy, get married, have kids. Yeah. Like, if you're that type of person that need a perfect attendance, stuff like things that we do.
But those are taught to you, though.
It is. It
is learned behavior,
It is learned behavior. So, I definitely.
Okay. So why do you think that people are either afraid or just flat out don't want to be in committed relationships?
I think, everybody has their own way of thinking, but sometimes we get so caught up in the optics on what it's supposed to look like, again, because it's going back to that learned behavior. What is really monogamy? What is a real commitment? If I'm with you and I'm committed to you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that's our commitment.
Oh, okay.
That's something that two adults agreed upon, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we just talked about it on Holla at the Homie with 360 the Poet on fidelity, right? And his show is right before mine. So
that was deep.
The fact that fidelity looks like what you and I discuss, what you and I agree on, and that's the loyalty that we will have with each other. And if it wavers and if it changes, we probably should have a different conversation about that. But you're 100% right. Like, I do believe that whatever two people create, but I think that most times the situation in the situationship is there is no conversation of what we're going to create and how can we create this thing for us to make sure that it works specifically for us. So why aren't we having that conversation most times? We're just it kind of happens. Like, when somebody be like, well, how did you get with this person? Well, it kind of happened.
Nothing kind of happens.
Right.
Nothing
something or someone
happens.
was intentional.
Exactly. I think most people are afraid of being who they really are. You always hear, I'm my authentic self, but are you really? Are you really ready to push your own boundaries and not worry about what everybody else is thinking and saying?
Yeah.
And you may fall flat on your face.
Right.
But when you are there, you're not worried about, oh, she did this, oh, she did that. It's like, okay, I messed up. Let me go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Let me start.
How many people are really ready for that conversation of, are you authentic with yourself, let alone authentic trying to show everybody else how authentic you are?
And that goes with whoever you showing up with. That's huge. That's huge. And I can't even, I'm not going to front. Like, my family, they probably be like, if they see a guy, they think like, oh, it is about to be marriage, because they don't see.
That's that learned behavior, remember? That's that pattern of, if she brings somebody around, oh, she must be
I'm
serious.
saying with me. Yeah.
Because that's that learned behavior. She gotta be serious because she brought, or you can't just bring the homie, love, a friend around.
Right.
Because you don't do
I
that.
wouldn't. Yeah. I'm getting better at it. I'm trying to lose. Auntie gotta have a life too.
Auntie gotta have a life too.
Like, what?
But so that brings me back to the fact that all situationships aren't bad.
No.
They're not bad at all. Some people are happy being content with what they have because it works for their personality. It works for the type of space that they want, their private time.
Yep.
I know I was listening to a lady talk the other day, and she was like, our relationship works great because he's a flight attendant. I like my space.
I had a guest at because I work in a hotel. She's like, we don't live together. We've been together 12 years, but we don't live. We live in the same complex. We own a home together, but it's like a duplex. I get to go in my corner. He gets to go in his. We are we are happy. Like why would I have to change anything else?
That should be normal.
To live in two different houses.
Yeah.
In
or
the
two different spaces.
If
So,
you're in a situationship.
here's the thing. Each ethnicity is different on the things that they do in their household. So I lived in Japan for like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Japanese women will get married and literally have a separate bedroom.
I've seen that.
They will get together, be intimate, and then go back to their bedrooms. Everyone has their own respective space. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me time to think for myself and not worry about the next person next to me. So many times in relationships, we feel we're so beholden to the next person that we have to tell them every single thing. If you give it away, you don't have nothing for yourself.
Wow.
I'm over here like, bitch, I'm listening.
I'm gonna sip my water.
Yeah, I'm like, is that okay?
But think about it though. When
No,
you want to make
girl,
a decision, you're married. You have to consider your husband, correct?
I try to.
You try, but you know in the forefront of your mind, you are supposed to consider your husband.
Yeah.
So we are taught to think that way, but sometimes we get into a space where we feel beholden. When I say beholden, it's like we have to tell that person what we're doing or what we're thinking. Like if someone asks, well, what you thinking about? And I say nothing, I literally may not be thinking about nothing, or I literally may not just want to tell you. And then you may have that partner be like, well, dang, why you can't tell me? Why you keeping it to yourself kind of thing? I shouldn't be beholden to give you all of my thoughts.
Now, this is even in marriage.
Yes. You got to take care of
You know,
self
cool.
first before you can take care of somebody else.
Ooh, baby, that
on
is
now.
a message. That is a bandage. It's a stitch. It is some peroxide to clean out the gookie shit because
Right.
you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. How many times as
Yourself.
women do we often lose ourselves taking care of our
lot.
partner, our kids, our parents once they get
Learned
older?
behavior.
Yeah.
And you lose yourself.
Yeah.
And then you find yourself having to go see a doctor or a therapist. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but preventative measures could have happened if you learned how to take care of yourself. And
First.
women don't get taught that, and black women especially
Yeah.
don't get taught that.
I feel like we're taught so much to make. I think societally to shrink in order to make sure everybody else in the room is comfortable.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it becomes a thing,
Yeah.
a real thing, and it does create an over long term effects.
Yeah.
And it spills over into our relationships.
Yeah.
And we lose ourselves primarily in relationships, not being able to stand up for ourselves and really express what we need for ourselves.
Yeah.
But it goes from
Competently.
childhood too, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Like how, like your avoidant style, like if I'm the one that want to talk on the problem as soon as it happens. Some people want to avoid it like a plague until they figure out, well, how did I feel? What did I feel? I'm ready to tell you right now how I felt.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Right.
Some people have to sit back. Well, did she say it? Well, why did she say it like that? Or why did you internalize it? Well, why did you say when you... I'm like, I already forgot about that. What are you talking about? Like, what did I say? How did I say it? Like, you got to tell me when I say it because I'm not keeping all that shit up in my head. I got other shit that I'm already thinking about for other shit.
But how do you operate if you were with a partner of the opposite and they are overthinking about how did they say it? How do you operate and respect your partner and deal with that?
I'm still learning that, so I don't know. I don't know. Like that's honest. Like especially in my relationship, I don't ever say like our shit is great or cookie cutter, but like we just trying to figure it out. And,
Everybody's just trying to figure it out.
And each time that something that we're trying to figure out, whether it's tone or decision making, like. We just keep coming back to the drawing board. That's just how.
So it sounds like you're giving each other grace. Something
Shit.
that we don't give people. Grace.
It's 16
Yeah, we
years
want it,
though.
but we don't give it.
We want it, but we don't give it.
We want it, we don't give it. So I heard you say you lived situationships. Tell us about that.
Yes.
So, one of my singles is called Situationship, and it literally tells the story of how I cheated on my husband.
Okay.
And there's a line in there that always sticks out, and people ask me about it when I say he watches as I cheat. Not meaning physical, he physically watched, but he knew. And he had to just sit back and watch it play out. So, long story short, I got into a situation where I met someone, I instantly fell for him, and I went back and I told my husband. And this person was able to help me in my career. And my husband told me that, you need to take one for the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm over here like this.
Okay, husband.
But you got to be careful what you put out there.
Absolutely.
Because taking one for the team, and he lost his home base. And a whole nother team was formed. And he found himself on the outside looking in.
It's a risk.
It's a big risk when you don't have that open and honest communication about what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Okay.
So I ended up leaving my husband. Not for the other person, so to speak, but I had to have a hard conversation with myself about whether or not I was okay with committing to someone that would easily give me away.
Wow. Now that's heavy. Okay.
And it's a real life story. I lived it. I wrote a song about it for a reason. But internally, it's like, I kind of felt like I was pimped. But it didn't work out in his favor, though. It worked out in mine. So do you stay with a person that would really go that far with you?
I think that he was like completely selfless. Like what I see from a flip side is like, I know this is your dream. I know this is your passion. I know this is your goal. So why would I stunt your growth due to the fact of like, this person likes you, you like this person. I know you have this connection because you were honest with me. So that conversation can lead to a different conversation of, like you said, I would say, like, what are the rules? What are the boundaries? Like, where are we at with this? How far can I go? How far can I go? And these are real conversations that you have to have because we are opening up a situation in a space to allow someone in emotionally. Right. Yeah, so, but when you first said it, I'm like, he was 100% selfless.
I don't agree with
but
the
do you think
part.
If it was pimping, as if he was like, you need to go and do this thing so you can get this money for us?
It wasn't like that. Every pimp ain't harsh. Most good pimps know how to be soft in order to get a woman to do what they need to do. I was
going to say something, but I will not. Will not say that.
And I already know what you think.
It was just one of those things where I'm married to a guy and I'm already in the business. And as a woman, I could have did that a long time ago to get myself ahead.
Right.
But here it is now. I'm telling you there's a possibility that I can do X, Y, and Z. And you automatically said, you got to take one for the team. Well, what team? We didn't discuss that if this ever came up that this would happen. So in the long run, I just feel like he was selfish and not selfless. Because he thought about the benefit. Yeah, he fought hard. But I lost all respect at that point. Yeah. Because you thought about the long-term benefits for yourself while I had to lay on my back and do the work.
Whoa. Okay.
I'm over here, shots fired.
Let me tell you, it's always so like, I don't know, like not heart heavy, but when you have these type of situations, you do have to dig deep and figure out like, where am I at with this? Like, how do I truly feel about it beforehand? You know what I'm saying? And then during and after, like, because in the beginning, how did you feel? Did you feel like he my teammate? He got my back?
No, I instantly did not feel that way.
Okay.
I can be honest and say I went as far as I did with it as get back.
Okay. Because you should have just tossed me out there.
You shouldn't have just tossed me out there like that. So let me show you what happens when you toss the ball.
Yikes. Ain't no fun
So
when
you
the
gave
rabbit
me
got
the
the
ball.
gun.
Now you want me
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. Okay. So how do you guys think that we do that? Like, how do you set those said boundaries? Like, if you know, especially if you are open and honest, we talking to the honest ones. I thought we were more so talking about the situationships where, you just end up in this relationship that's not a relationship, but it's kind of like a relationship. We doing relationship stuff, but you don't really love me because you waiting for something better. But right now, this is great. And you just 4 or 5 years.
That sounds like dating.
When I see people do that though, that I know that could be great for each other. Okay, because it's always on the outside looking in. I don't, people don't know situations, right? You can only judge by what. But if you are an observant type of person, and you can see like, dang, they really do got love for each other. I see how they may bicker or like little things that look, but that looks like it's a good relationship overall. And then you see like, okay, again, nobody wants their feelings hurt in a relationship. So they'll date and date and date. And I'll be like, so y'all ain't want to make nothing? Like, you don't want to have... Because in my mind, it's like, I'm married. So, okay, you should be married.
But the only reason why people do that is because they don't want to be honest about what they actually want. You can only get your feelings hurt if you don't put the honesty out there.
Yeah.
You give people choices to choose on what it is they want to do.
True.
But if you don't be honest, then you're taking away that person's choice.
Yes. You have to, and then you have to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
If you're not being honest with yourself about what you truly want, like that creates all these problems that you don't even necessarily need and possibly have or not have, right? So the letter that they wrote into the show before, which is the flip side, and I really appreciated it because it was a man who does not want to be a player no more. He is fighting with himself, the player, on being fidelity and being faithful because he feels this woman deserves it. And I was like, shout out to you for even standing up for yourself, because at the end of the day, it's not cool to love one woman. It's not cool to be in relationships. Like right now, situationships is popping all over the place.
True.
Only
because
is
most people
lit.
don't know what a situationship truly is. Everyone is still, attributing to the whole side chick or the side piece situation.
Right,
thing.
right.
There is no side chick or no side piece because there's no main. It's just a bunch of people having sex. It's just a bunch of people dating. It's a bunch of people spending money. Like, there's no such thing.
The Matrix, like,
for real.
yeah.
Because exactly what it said,
true,
right?
though.
It says a romantic or a sexual relationship that is not considered to be formal or established.
Yeah.
More than a friendship, but less than a relationship. But more than a casual encounter or a booty call.
More than this, more than that.
It's less than
More
this,
than that.
but more than that.
We're dealing with measurements now, like,
And that shit still confusing as fuck. Like, bro, I'm like,
it's 49% this and 51% that.
Yeah.
Come
what
on
a
now.
splash
And the
of,
51
like,
is on the not committed.
2%.
Definitely on
We're not
heavily
committed
on
on
the
the
not
on the
committed.
51.
Absolutely.
Most time they're like 40-60. Probably 80-20.
So do you guys, so do people, I mean, I get, so, okay. I hate talking about certain shit because I be like, okay, so I got to ask a question about. So when you're in situationships, are y'all using condoms when y'all do these things? Because do y'all want to have kids with these people? Like, do you not? Like, how does it work in context with, like, when it does come sexual? Like, do you trust that person? Like, y'all say y'all not together, so that means you could be smashing anybody. And then you could bring anything back, to me. So, like, what, like, how does that work? Like, is it y'all comfortable enough to be like, okay, well, we'll do, I don't know. I'm just nosy because, again, I haven't experienced that, so I want to just know.
Well, your question is valid.
Okay. I didn't want to be like, okay, do I want to sound like okay, go ahead.
The judgy wife.
Yeah. I don't want to be judgy.
I don't want to be the judgy wife, but are y'all protecting yourself out there?
Yes, like, kids. Are y'all doing this?
I mean, that really depends on the two individuals. We gonna keep it 1,000 right now. Sometimes you may meet somebody and ain't no protection in sight, and you kind of just gotta pray to God that you don't catch up and get nothing because you in the moment.
Hey,
I think that's how people are living reckless.
That's and as and as reckless as that is, you kind of just gotta know who you dealing with in a sense. You kind of gotta trust your internal.
You know, hoe, strap it up. Bring your gun.
And then think about the circumstance of how you're meeting this person.
Yeah.
Now, come on now. We all know club booty is, subject to, you may catch something because this is their objective. You're not the first person. You're not going to be the last person.
Right. They just club hopping.
They club hopping.
Every week.
Now, if you happen to just, I actually met somebody at the library, like real talk.
Ooh.
That regular library.
Intellectual.
He was with his kids. This is a long time ago. And it was just one of those things where, dang, he can get it.
I haven't met anybody like that, like, in a long fucking time. And I don't think that's fair.
It's not fair.
It's not because I look like...
The universe going to change that around, though.
It is changing up.
Definitely.
It is. And I'm going to be so excited. Be like, she ready for it, though.
It's funny, but I like that, though, because you bump into them authentically anyway.
Exactly.
And then there's a connection. Now, the scary part is, what was that movie, Tyler Perry movie? You know the one when she got the package.
The one that I hate, the one that the girl...
That's the black girls one, right? With Janet?
Nah.
That one is
No,
heavy.
it's the one where the girl get AIDS at the goddamn end because she cheats on her boyfriend.
Dang it.
Oh.
One time.
Girl, I was like,
She
one
time.
and just was like, the guy gave her something.
I can't think of that
deception.
movie.
No. What is it called?
With Journey.
Yes.
It was a book
yes.
about it.
Yeah. But it's
That was
just
one of
like,
my favorite books.
I hate that for when this one time...
That's what I felt.
you do get in a situation where, because clearly that was like a little whirlwind of emotions and chemistry, and like he lit a fire up her ass, so it was hard for her to put that flame out.
It was.
Was it?
I mean, for her.
Think about the context and the setup, though. This was a dating app or...
No, it was a church girl.
No, she was working
for a dating company. Like, the purpose was
was
to hook him up with somebody, so you knew that this was a eligible bachelor, a financially wealthy bachelor, good-looking man,
So
who was a player. So she set herself up, and then he knew how to manipulate her because he knew she was cornbread Fred and didn't know nothing.
Right. Fed her the cocaine,
That's who you
and that
get.
just sent her off.
Thank you.
Ooh,
She set herself
that's
up.
Nasty. Yeah.
Y'all, okay, now when y'all say it like that, like, shit, all right.
I would have passed him on to the next. Kim Kardashian in that movie? You take him, honey.
Yeah.
I'm not
You deal
setting
with
myself up like that.
Yeah, he was applying pressure.
Yeah. But that's, again, we know men that mess with girls or mess with females like that for a certain reason. Because they know that they can.
Like pray,
Yeah.
all the time, all the time. But then want to say, well, you
knew what you were doing.
yeah. You gotta
getting
choose who you
into.
lay down with.
Yeah.
You lay down too. We both lay down.
Exactly.
It's never on the man. It's always on us.
Mm-hmm.
But we lack accountability. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the one for you. We gonna scoot on past that. So a couple of these comments really quick. We got Tanya Miss Bailey in the house. What's up, Tanya? Hey, Deja. Ty. What's up, Baked OGs? And then we got Mr. B Pies on here. He said love the show. I don't know what we said, but Deja said felt.
Okay.
Then somebody said, woo, like,
It was just because she was dropping something.
She was dropping some gems. They just said, I love how she analyzed that situation. Not many women would look at it in this perspective. Mm-hmm. Not many women would look at it in this perspective due to the fact that it's typically the opposite way around, or there was some sneaking involved. Mm-hmm. Like, this is something that you were being honest about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that perspective is looked at completely different on the simple fact that, like, I'm going to just say it. Say it. Like I said, most times situationships happen because we already know that we're being selfish on the fact that I've never had an intention on committing to just you. Mm-hmm. I wanted you to commit to just me. I never had no intention of committing to you. But I do want you to be my one and only.
And that's where the
And don't
dishonesty comes in.
pass that thing out, you know.
Because tell a person that, like, listen, I just want you to be committed to me, but I'm going to have somebody else on the side. You okay with that? You gave that person a choice to, you know, make a decision.
They definitely take the choice away every single time. But the more and more men that I dissect and the more and more women that I talk to, of course, it's the fact of, like, I want what I want, and by all means, I'm going to try to get it. Like, but don't you know that the truth could work?
Absolutely.
It could work. Like, we grew up to be grown, and I just said this, like, to grow up and, like, no, literally, like, when I see people, like, why aren't you just being yourself then? Like, okay, either it's learned behavior because yourself has been altered a little bit. I do know that that's a real thing, and I live that, right? But, like, situationship that I got involved in, I didn't know nothing about. I'm thinking that I need to change my life over for the Lord, because this way...
For the Lord.
For the Lord's. And he's basically like, you know, I'm finna be a deacon, a junior's deacon board.
Oh,
like,
they the worst.
Girl... He was like, you know, so, and it was like
right.
all of a sudden, like, after I started talking to him, you know, it's just like, you feel like you get 9,000 looks around the church.
You do.
Now everybody's looking,
First
everybody's
lady,
looking at everybody.
Everyone.
Well, I mean, we didn't get to that place, and he
I'm
never
just
made
saying.
it into the deacon board because he had way too many girls at the church.
That's why they was looking around.
That's why they was all looking
They
around.
said, and another one.
And another one.
Dang, that's what you hate when you know, like, everybody in the room, like, damn.
You too. He got you too. But I mean, I was happy that it wasn't. I didn't get too deep into it. It just was the simple fact that you would be bold enough to do that shit. Like, why did you think that you was that guy to talk to that many women in this said church? And he had a wife.
What made you fall for him?
I don't know. We didn't date, right? So
what made you give him your attention?
He was cute. He was charming. I was in church, and I'm thinking, like, okay, you know, it's a possibility. You know, they say, like, oh, you know, you can find you a good man in church. I was young, too. I was in my 20s. But, like, very charming, very cool, like, laid back. You know, he's from the Midwest, so he had this little swag about him. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do the Midwest like that. Why everybody attach people to the Midwest be like, they shiesty and they gonna charm your ass?
I said swag. Like, not everybody shiesty. I feel like there's shiesty people everywhere.
Yes.
So, I'm from the Midwest, so he had this thing about him, of course, to where... Yeah, so, and you would never think, like, he was always with his mom and his auntie.
You put
but that
air
was his
quotes.
wife.
That was the wife.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
But the auntie looked old enough to be the mom's sister, so... But all along, he had a sugar mama wife.
That was easy. That's classic then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
And then he had all the young girls at the church.
Classic.
And she the one who told me, like, chased me down. I'm like, what's going on? What's this lady yelling my name like
But
this?
the problem is she's used to it.
The problem was she's sitting here watching it. You married this man. She married him on that Tuesday or that Wednesday, and she called me on that Saturday. So you already knew before you married him. Like, why was you... And not when it came back around, you know, because I don't really do nothing that's messy. So when it came back around and we had the conversation, I was like, no, what the fuck was you thinking about, bro? Like, why would you even put yourself in that type of situation? You know? And he just was like, man, you know.
Because he was getting away with it for so long.
So the wife called you?
Literally, I had just gave her my number like 2 weeks before I was doing manicures and pedicures at the time. So she was like,
She did not hear.
yeah, so I'm in class, my phone ringing. I'm like, who would be blowing me up and they know I'm in school like this? And sure and behold, I was like...
Imagine all the other women he was messing with had some type of service they were providing and she was benefiting from it. Finding out the information. Because, you know, they do that too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. That's a whole different type of situation.
Yeah. We seen that video when that girl was like, it be y'all too. Y'all know y'all want to be with each other, but y'all keep roping these bitches in.
She had a point. She said they're damaging other people by not correcting what's going on in their relationship. If they both keep stepping out, and let's say for cheater's sake, if a man keeps stepping out and this other woman gets involved. Now y'all beefing and all this other stuff is going on.
But you ain't
y'all
never
knew
gonna
you
leave
guys
her.
were toxic before you stepped out. So you just pulled her in to y'all toxic bullshit.
Right.
So she was on point with that one. But if that's the case, so if we know that situationships aren't always healthy for us, how do we put limitations on them?
Well, you know,
I'm listening to y'all. I'm like, huh?
that's the problem. You said the L word. Limits. Limits and learned behavior go together. Things you learn, you tend to limit yourself because you learn that you weren't supposed to do that.
Okay.
So when you say limitations, that automatically in your mind saying that what you're doing is wrong because you were taught that it was wrong. You're going to operate like it's wrong instead of being honest with yourself and saying, this is what I need for me. And there is somebody out there that's going to meet that.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Because in the situation of having limits, it's like, why would you limit yourself? Even if you're in said situationship, it's something that just hasn't been defined, but you have a sexual romantic relationship, and clearly there's some chemistry there.
But it is defined, though. We are so caught up in the label of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, relationship.
Yeah.
Anytime you are interactive with another person, there is a relationship, regardless. It doesn't have to be defined as a romantic relationship, a platonic relationship, a sexual relationship. It's a relationship. And whatever happens within those parameters of that relationship is between those two people.
That's true. You know, I always
so
say
then
that.
don't tell everybody y'all your business. Then that way people
what?
I just feel like, again, if we are, right, everybody do what you want to do, but people will have an opinion. You can't be mad at a person's opinion based off of what they may see going on. And I feel like I don't want to seem judgy, but I guess I can be, you know. And it's not judging. It's just like, well, are you doing that? Are you being safe? I'm more concerned, okay?
Yeah, I don't think you being.
You still on the sex?
No, just everything. Just the whole interaction of you giving someone your time, your feelings, your emotions, and like they're not like it's okay for them to just want to take an aspect of you and not necessarily say like they get access to you, but they don't get like they get all the benefits of you for them, but then they're only giving you half of them. Because most of the time women, I feel that we are natural when it comes to us just being kind, loving, you know, like supportive. We are naturally like that. So you're getting the benefit from that, because most guys, if they're not getting that from their main person that they're utilizing that from, that's where they will go and gravitate. Like, I don't want to hear about your problems at home. Like, if you're not happy, leave the bitch. But most of the time, it will never be that. It will always be, okay, I'm gonna spew all of my shit that I got going on here, but I'm never gonna leave her. I'm gonna drain all of your good energy that you have as a person, that you deserve someone to give you those things that you are giving back to someone that doesn't deserve it.
But that's not on the man, that's on the woman, though. Because when he chose you, he was choosing you because he knew you were not the person that he wanted to be with. He already got that person. You are being used for something else. And when you accept that, this is what you're accepting in the situation. You can never go into that thinking it's going to be more than that.
But a lot of women do.
Please say that again for the people in the back. You can never what?
You can never go into it thinking it's going to be more than what it is. A man, just like a woman, chooses their partner. Yes. We know who we're going to have sex with. We choose that. But when we give our hearts away, it is up to a man to accept it, to take care of it, to nurture it.
Yes.
He knows who he's going to do that with.
Yeah.
Immediately. He makes the changes that he needs to make for that particular person.
And
everything else around is just a body.
It's just a body. Yeah. And then I think sometimes, like, take the whole aspect of it and remember that women are sexual beings too. So take the aspect of you're being used for anything. You have sexual desires as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be messing with them.
Exactly.
You wouldn't put yourself in a position to deal with somebody who you feel is using you for your body. Because why? Like, shit, I want something too, you want something too. And I think that's when you get to a place where you have that conversation. You have that conversation with each other, like, listen.
But nobody wants to be real about that, because 9 times out of 10, if you're being used as a body, you're getting some type of finances from it. But now you don't want to but you don't want to look at yourself like that, though.
Right.
But at the end of the day, and you don't even have to look at yourself as a sex worker. We just going to be 100 and say men know they got to pay for it. One way or the other. They know they got to pay for it. You paying for it in a relationship, time, anything. Men know that they have to pay for it. And the people that they are willing to pay for it with is worth it to them. If you're being used as a body and you're not getting nothing else out of that but some sex, that puts you at the level of where he thinks you are. Not where you think you are, where he thinks you are.
And I think you got to be, at some points, be honest with yourself about that. Like, it's cool that he thinks that I'm at that place, but I'm getting the same dick from him that he's getting, pussy he's getting from me. Like, you're not getting no more, no less.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
guys don't like that, though. They want, again, they don't want the ones like that.
To make them feel used.
Yeah,
but that's why you got to tell
that.
them what's old to you is new to somebody else.
Man.
It's just, for me, when you hear a lot of people say, like, oh, man, you know, like, the sex, like, I just want a variety. Like, we don't want to have sex with the same person. Like, bro, you are giving the same sad pump to her, to me, to them. Like, I get the same pump from you all the time, too, but you don't hear me complaining.
If they compare notes, it would all say the same.
It would all say, he gonna flip you over? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Did
he do that?
He gonna stick his finger in your butt?
It's all going to compare the same.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he must have really liked you.
Okay, so he stuck his tongue all the way in. Okay, so he like you, girl. You the one. Nah, but I think that, like, we as women, we have to take that out. Like, we have to sometimes go out and get what we want, because we want to be emotionally involved. We want to have, what I said today, like, I need to get my skin rubbed. Like, it don't have to be sexually, but, you know, like, sometimes you might rub across something like, oh, I ain't got my back rubbed in a long time.
So you like intimacy?
Oh, I'm very intimate. I love romance.
Because you have your intimate, cozy, you know what she do.
I do.
She be,
I have an intimate, erotic date night that I created.
Okay.
But it's based on getting connected again with all 5 senses. So, and communication is the biggest one. So we will have some conversation, but the way I do the conversations, you get to utilize all the senses, and then I give you a little kit to go home with. And, you know, so you can get intimate all by yourself. I would like to, if you want me to watch for a few. No.
Hey, I've been offered that too.
I can tell you what I can do. Okay, girl, you need to work on them knees a little bit more.
I'm not here to critique. I'm here to watch.
To watch
quietly.
I'll email you my suggestions later, okay?
Wow. And then I took a few pointers away too, just so you know. Like, thanks for showing me that. But yeah, so so where are we at with, like, let's talk about how we can have, like you said, I agree with you wholeheartedly that everything, the person you have with the bank, that's why I said you need to be respectful and not rude to people, because you have a relationship with this person. You're here for a service, for you to get money out the bank, for them to be nice to you, and vice versa. So how do we create situationships where they can work, they can be healthy, they can be fun, they can be
what you make
undefined, like you said, like take the label off, like, hey, this is what me and you got,
it's
and
really
this is
simple.
Real.
It's so simple,
and this is real, like, and it's okay for it to be real. How do we have that conversation?
You have it,
and
you know, you old age saying is, when you tell your truth, you find your tribe. Because those who care will stick around. Who align with you will stick around. So it's really that simple. You have those conversations like, hey, this is what I need. I want to see you on Monday. I may see somebody else on Wednesday. I'm going to swing back around the block on Friday. You all right with that? Have that conversation up front and give that person the opportunity to choose whether or not they want to play along in your game, because it's a game at the end of the day.
But why, though? Why? That's my whole thing. We're too old to be, we're grown-ass adults, and why are we playing game? Life Once you realize life, the game we played as a kid, that game life you spent real, that shit was real life, and how this shit is going. So it's like, you know that this is really not a game. Mm-hmm. And people's hearts is not nothing to be played with. It's very delicate muscle, right? And you need it to survive. So why are we playing games?
But remember, that's that learned behavior again.
If we do gotta unlearn it,
you have to, like, seriously, you gotta go back to the basis of mom told you that you were supposed to do X, Y, and Z as a woman.
Or what about what was not even told? Just what you saw. What you saw shaped,
and we all know
molded and shaped.
That and grandma them went through a lot. Grandma them didn't know nothing. All grandma them knew was to stick beside them. They didn't have.
My grandma was a different breed.
Mine was too.
But I'm following you.
But you know, you come from that. They come from that era of you stick beside him regardless, and they were getting cheated on. They were outside babies,
but they had to. They were put in a position to have to depend on them.
Yeah, you couldn't.
And that's where a lot of
they
people
only
have
had
an
to
issue
because they were not taught that they didn't have to.
But I'm saying, as far as the stability, like they were put in a position. You know, women were oppressed.
True.
On purpose.
They weren't working.
I think that monogamy was created for women only.
But you know what women had though?
Western culture.
But you know what women had though? Regardless of what decade it was, that thing in between their legs that make it go cha-ching.
A vagina.
I mean, that's the
We've always had that.
So
it's the oldest profession.
They've paid for pussy forever. So.
Well, I always say, like, even like it's not, like you said, it's not a payment, right? If you're a wife, you probably gonna have to put out, and he gonna go to work, and you gonna do this. So it's still a give and take, and an exchange of whatever. But I think people miss the fact that there's an exchange of energy that happens there too, which what creates the situationship. Because you might just get in and like, I'm gonna just fuck this person real quick one time for the one time, because I need that itch scratch, and then here you are, 8 months later, still
caught up,
tipping and toeing,
caught up.
I kind of like you a little bit. Like, you cool
like,
or whatever.
I don't like when you're not around. Like, what's going on with that?
So what are you doing when you're not around?
But you only like what's being presented to you.
Yeah, because I still feel like most times people aren't showing them their whole self.
No, they're not.
I did a poll on Facebook. I said, how soon do you show your spouse? I even said your spouse, your authentic self, 100%. Nobody said 100%. I was like, that's wild. And how long do you hide who you are? Why can't you just be who you are?
Because most people don't know who they are before they got with that person.
Okay. And we're going to end on that note, because that's a message. And I think it's important for us to take the time and do a little self-reflecting. It might feel nasty. It might feel uncomfortable. But reflect on who you are and what you want in life. And let me tell you, the truth will set you free. Most times. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Love. Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
Let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook under ALLI Star. That's ALLISTARR. And Instagram, ALLI Star, and just add a number 1 next to it.
All right. We're going to see y'all next week. It's our 1 year.
1 year.
I don't know how this looks.